I just finished watching a video on YouTube. The video I'm talking about has nothing to do with firearms or self-defense. It's actually from a YouTuber called Mark Rober, and he has a massive YouTube channel. He's a former NASA engineer. He just makes really good content. But the backlash to his video reminded me once again of just why it's absolutely important to have honesty, integrity, and objectivity in these videos. Now, for one, I think it's important to have those things just because they're good to have. But two, because it's so easy in this age of information to be able to fact check someone and to call someone out. In every video I do, be it a gear review, be it a reaction video, a 6 lies about this or whatever, I always try to ask myself, is what I'm saying the truth, or is what I'm saying just because of my ideological beliefs? Am I steel manning the other side, or am I just trying to win the argument? And the video I'm talking about from Mark Rober is where he was testing a Tesla and a car that uses LiDAR. Basically, he was trying to see whether or not they could detect a screen that was painted to make it look like it was the road. And in the video, he tested both of them and didn't have all of the features turned on with the Tesla. And after he posted the video, just all this backlash came out about how he was not being honest, he's being disingenuous about not testing the Tesla to its fullest extent, and he was promoting this other company and throwing Tesla under the rug, or under the rug, throwing them under the bus. And then some other things in the video about him changing his iPhone that's recording over his shoulder to make it look like it's a Google Pixel phone. So all of this stuff, just the smallest little details. Granted, his videos get millions of views, so there's gonna be a lot more criticism because there's a lot more eyeballs on his videos. So you might as well just be honest. And I'm not saying that Mark Rober was being dishonest in his video. I think there's a reasonable suspicion that he was, at least to some extent, because there's some questions about the relationship he had with the CEO of the LiDAR car company, and also everything that's going on with Tesla right now and Elon. But nonetheless, I'm not gonna speculate on any of that because I don't have any hard facts. And to the point of this video, if I don't have hard facts, I'm not even gonna try. But it speaks volumes to why it's so important to be honest when you're doing this type of thing. One, because you just should, because it's inherently right. And then two, because you're just not gonna get away with it. You're not gonna be able to gaslight enough people to convince them their eyes are lying to them. And once you lose your integrity, it's really hard to get it back. I just did a gear review for a product, and this company sent me their product. It's a really cool product, and I gave them my honest review. That honest review included in my opinion, a pretty big critique, and I haven't seen any other people that have reviewed this product do that, which is amazing to me because I've seen videos of competitive shooters that review this, and they have way more years of experience than I do in shooting, and they've reviewed this product, and they haven't picked up on this one thing that I think is a pretty big deal. And I've shared it with other shooters, this critique, and they've agreed with me. They're like, yeah, that's actually a pretty big problem with this device. And I've also, in some of my videos, gone back, realized that I made a mistake, and then I issued a correction video where I called myself out on certain things that I got wrong or added clarification. And I did that because I read the comments that were criticizing me and saying, no, you got this wrong, you need to fix this. So yeah, I went back and corrected that. And if you guys see that with any of my videos, please call me out and let me know. Now, if you do call me out, I ask that you include a timestamp and a quote, because sometimes people will respond to things that I didn't even say, and I can't address a comment on something I didn't say. So you have to correct me on something I didn't say and not straw man and make something up. It also means that sometimes I frustrate people that probably have very similar belief systems to what I do, but I'm just trying to prioritize the truth over winning the argument, over winning the debate, or anything else. And it's also very tempting in the YouTube space and the affiliate space to fall into the trap of shilling for other companies. This is something that I decided long ago I wasn't gonna do. I wasn't going to just promote another company because they're paying me or because I think I can get a lot of money. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I have been tempted to do that. I'm not gonna sit here and tell you that, oh, I've never been tempted to lie about a product because I thought that I could make a lot of money from people purchasing that product. But as tempted as I have been to do it, I have decided not to do it because that's going to undermine the integrity of me. Or my integrity. It's going to undermine the integrity of this channel. And once that integrity is gone, it's going to be very difficult to get it back if I can even get it back. And so I have several times done gear reviews or whatever the case may be where I've thought to myself, okay, if I say this, this actually could lead to me not making as much money because maybe people won't purchase this thing and I may not make as much affiliate commission on this, but at the end of the day, my integrity is more important than money. It's not always easy to do that, but I think that it's really important to do that. And it's also disappointing when I see someone like Mark Rober doing something like that or seeming to do something like that, because I know he is a mechanical engineer, he has a degree in engineering, and he's done engineering. I have a degree in mechanical engineering. I have worked as a wind tunnel test engineer. And one of the things about being an engineer is you are always looking for the right solution. You're trying to look objectively and try to find the truth. And a lot of times when you go looking for that truth, you may end up being surprised by what you find. And speaking of engineers, Elon, I think that is a person that is prioritizing the truth. I really do think that Elon doesn't care about anything but the truth and getting down to the truth, even if that means him being embarrassed on camera.
You don't even need a cold gas thruster system. You already have hot gas.
But this is only for the booster, right?
Yes. Although arguably, now you mention it, we might be wise to do this for the ship too. We're gonna fix that.
Jeez.
I'd say that's like one of the biggest improvements that we've made. It occurred to me while I was explaining it to you. I was like, wait, what are we doing?
To me, that's someone that is interested in the truth over their own ego, because he's this chief engineer for SpaceX and he's supposed to have all the answers, and you have this random person asking him a question. Someone who has a big ego problem in that moment would probably say, no, we looked into that. We know what we're doing. They would dismiss that suggestion, especially if they're being recorded, and not be humble about it. But my interpretation of what his response was humility, because he looked at that person and kind of thought about it and said, yeah, I think we need to look into that. That is someone who, in my opinion, prioritizes truth. And that is what I'm trying to do with this channel. I don't always get it right, but yeah, hopefully I can get better at it. And if this is your first time to the channel and you're just here for gun stuff and self-defense stuff, then I apologize that this video doesn't have anything to do with that. But I also believe that if you're gonna trust my opinion to those topics, then you first have to trust my integrity. Because if you can't trust me, then you're gonna always question whether or not what I'm saying is just because I made it up, which I've seen so many times with instructors. You can tell they don't actually know what it is they're talking about. They've just heard it regurgitated so many times or heard it said so many times, so they're regurgitating it. They don't actually know why. And those instructors also don't like questions like why. They don't like when a student says, hey, why is that? Or why do you think that is? Or what about this? Those instructors get really frustrated about that. I always wanted to be able to answer why we were doing what we were doing and not just trying to BS my students and make up some reason on the spot because I didn't want to get embarrassed and get my feelings hurt. But if it is your first time to the channel, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button down below, and please like this video and comment if you have any comments. But thank you guys so much for watching, and as always, train to a higher standard.